The one thing we really wanted to do here in Sweden is try some Swedish meatballs. It's just one of those things where I feel like it's probably better here in Sweden than the ones we get over in the States at IKEA. So here we are in Malmo, Sweden, or as it's pronounced in Swedish, Malmö. Malmö. We are heading for Copenhagen Airport right now, but we are not getting on a plane just yet. We're doing something pretty special. We are going to be in 3 countries in the course of 24 hours, and we're going to be in our second one in just a few short minutes. So we have about 6.5 hours until our flight leaves. And a lot of times on travel days, the hardest thing to figure out is just how to kill time, what to do while you're waiting for your flight. Well, luckily at the Copenhagen Airport, there's a really easy decision as far as what to do with that time. We can go to an entirely different country, and the best part, it only takes 20 minutes. Tickets to Sweden. Now, before we purchase our tickets to Sweden, there's one thing we have to do. We have to figure out what to do with all this luggage. We've stored our luggage once before in a train station in Germany, so I'm hoping there's something kind of like that, like a storage locker situation.
If you are wondering where you can store your luggage here at the Copenhagen Airport, you have to look for Terminal 2, parking garage number 4. They're right there.
The connection from Copenhagen Airport to Malmo is the longest rail bridge in Europe. It's going to take us 22 minutes to get from here to Sweden.
Så blir det Karlskrona-delen som blir kopplad på i Malmö.
Feels good and cold and windy.
This is honestly blowing my mind right now. We are in a completely different country in the course of 22 minutes. And honestly, the only reason the train ride took 22 minutes is because we made 2 stops and we stopped for a while. It probably only takes like 15 minutes if it goes straight. There was actually a point on the train where I could see Malmo and I could see Copenhagen on either side. They are so close to each other, but despite that proximity, they are so different. We are in a completely different country that speaks a completely different language, uses a completely different currency, and just overall is a completely different culture. I was honestly kind of thinking before we came here that this would be like an extension of Copenhagen. Not the case. This doesn't look anything like Copenhagen, and it's so cool that if you live in this region, within 20 minutes, you could be in a completely different place. So here we are in Malmo, Sweden, or as it's pronounced in Swedish, Malmö. Malmö. We only have a couple hours here, unfortunately, because we're gonna have to go back to catch our flight. But the one thing we really wanted to do here in Sweden is try some Swedish meatballs. It's just one of those things where I feel like it's probably better here in Sweden than the ones we get over in the States at IKEA. So that's gonna be our mission with the short time we have here in Malmo to find some authentic Swedish meatballs. So far, the observations I would make is that it feels very European, very old. Reminds me of a lot of the towns we went to in Germany, where it's just like the old buildings, the old square, cobblestone everywhere. I'm honestly just blown away so far. It's not what I expected at all. There's a lot of modern architecture flair around, like where we were in the train station, but here in the old town, it just feels so authentic, so old world. I mean, look at this wood and brick building behind me. This is awesome. I'm excited to see more. think we found our place, although the prices are very Swedish, which means very high. We might just split one, but let's see if they've got what we need. We can officially check it off the bucket list. Swedish meatballs in Sweden, check. I absolutely love those meatballs. Without a doubt, better than anything I've had in the US. The gravy is so good. The way that those meatballs are so tender, they kind of just fall apart, and then you put the lingonberries on top. That is 10 out of 10 right there.
After that filling lunch, we're on our way to the park to see something very special, and then we're back to the train station.
Yep, we got an hour left in Sweden. Our time here in Sweden was certainly not long enough, but either way, it is what it is. We're having to head back to the train station now. So we'll be going back to the Copenhagen Airport, and then we'll be taking off for our third country of the day, which I'll keep that a secret for now. And just like that, we are back in Denmark. Oh, thank God, they're still there. This square is truly amazing, especially at night with all the lights. We're really glad we just came back for one more look.